First, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth with sincerity. And a shout out to Yakin that's out there in the four quarters of the earth. Going out there and teaching in a place that does not keep the Most High statutes, Babylon the Great, America, and, you can see, though, that, you're trying to keep the laws, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities, right? But you're being persecuted, right? Because you're finding out that you're an Israelite. Give you a prime example this weekend. Of course, that wicked festivity, celebrating the Easter, the virgin birth, which is not even biblical, because the word for virgin really meant young woman, marry young woman with child. But, they want to push, and that's what the Easter egg hunting and all that shit is about, right? Well, tell you a story, right? Of course, this Saturday, and they know that we don't celebrate that. You find out you're a confusion of face Israelite, or you're just an Israelite in general, right? So, mother-in-law hands me a pork chop, right? I'm like, I don't eat this, I don't eat pork, it's an abomination, to eat swine. And she's like, well, I guess I'm going to go to hell for that. We never even pushed the hell doctrine, right? But she's used to how things are with my mom, right? Because my mom is one of those religious fanatics, a.k.a. in the Pentecostal 501c3 church, right? So they preach hell a lot, right? But we don't even teach hell, right? So, she's mixing that up. She's like, well, you ate a lot of pork before. And I was like, yeah, when I did not know that I was a Hebrew Israelite. That wasn't taught to me, but, you try to do that, and then, of course, she says to my wife, well, we're going to have dinner over at your sister's house for Easter, and she's like, we don't celebrate that, and then it's like, oh, yeah, you just do everything he said. Like it's wrong for a woman to follow after her man, right? Like that's a bad thing, but you see how everything's asked backwards here in Babylon the Great, America. So, I'm just going to read out a, and we all go through it because, as another brother had put up a video yesterday, man, no matter how hard you try to escape it, you can't. It's there, You're trying to rehearse righteous acts, but, no matter what, your family comes against you, everyone comes against you because you're trying to keep the law, statutes, and commandments to the best of your abilities. But that's part of the persecution. So, I'm going to read out Amos chapter 5, verse 21. I know y'all know this, but, I despise your feast days, and I will not smell in your solemn assemblies. So, we know that the Most High, Yahweh, hates these things. Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, yeah, I'm going to offer him pork, going to eat pork, going to eat all kinds of abominable foods. I will not accept it, neither will I regard the peace offerings of your fat beast. And all day long they show nothing but Cesare Borgia image movies, all the images of the Edomites pretending to be the saints of the Most High, pretending to be Israelites, but they're all goddamn Edomites. Take thou away from me the noise of thy songs, for I will not hear the melody of thy viols. Yeah, so, he's not going to hear any of these fucking melodies, He hates this fucking church music that they call it. He hates these fucking jumping Cesare Borgia, Jesus Christ freak music. He hates it. You're better off playing some death metal, because at least he does want a lot of these goddamn Edomites to die, kind of like the Slayer song, God Hates Us All. He rejects that fucking race, and he despises this fucking place. Talking about America, and talking about the Edomites. But let judgment run down as waters, and righteousness as a mighty stream. Yes, we're trying to rehearse righteous acts, And it's worth it for the persecutions and all that, because we know at the end of this, we do everything right. We're rehearsing righteous acts. We know that we're not going to be caught in the judgment when the fucking nuclear weapons get shut off, and we're so close to that, it's not even funny. But ye have borne the tabernacle of your Moloch, and chewing your images, the stars of your God. Yeah, Exactly. You know, you have this American flag with the stars on it, and you're celebrating, and it's wicked festivities. He hates America. He hates this place. Therefore, I will cause you to go into the captivity beyond Damascus, saith Yahweh, whose name is the God of hosts. And that's what's interesting, though. Aren't all these nations coming against Damascus? You know, they are pretty much, taken up against Damascus, right? You know. And of course, eagle-faced Trump says, "Oh, we're pulling out of Syria. We're going to pull out of Iraq." Yeah, like we believe that. You know, Barack Obama said that not so long ago, that he was going to get us out of Iraq. Yeah, he furthered the war in the Middle East. You know, he took out Libya. He legalized more drone attacks and has killed more children than AKA any president in history. Well, I don't think he outranks Andrew Jackson, but that's on another note. But either way, though, they want to take the guns, but yet you got them fucking predator drones, and they shoot up hospitals and schools all the time in Syria and the Middle East, you know. And we all know that the guys of fighting ISIS is a joke, because America created ISIS to go in there so they could put in their fucking puppet government, just like they did with the Ukraine overthrow. You know, they put Poroshenko in there, you know, which is just another Illuminati puppet. And then, of course, you got Benjamin, not a Jew, you know, who has now legalized drone attacks against the protesters in Palestine, you know, and killed a bunch of them, you know. So you got all these things going on, all these proxy wars, and you got the actual wars, right? Diplomats being kicked out, you know, and you got the trade wars. The fact is that China has now finally done what Gaddafi could not do, has introduced the yuan, and now no longer needs the American currency. So this currency system is crashing big time. That's why you're seeing the store closings. That's why more and more the gas prices are going up, and which makes the prices of everything else go up, because they don't need the U.S. dollar anymore. The U.S. dollar is pretty much worthless now, you know. So we also know that, on the other hand, you know, I'll tell you a funny story, right? You know that I already lost in Revelation Times channel, but I got a strike on this channel as well. Confusion of Face Reading channel, aka Cyberbullying, because I don't believe the bullshit fucking... They are the fake news, but they call what we're doing fake news. You know, I don't believe any of the bullshit. You tell me that there's a shooting, I say fucking bullshit. You're just trying to, you know, create a distraction from the real agenda here, which is you've been caught, you've been exposed for your lies. You know, so you got to create more lies to hide the truth, you know, by creating these false flag shootings, which don't even exist. You just got a bunch of crisis actors, and yeah, you'll set off detonations, you'll set off explosions, right? And you'll make it look like people are running out of school. Come on, with the cameras watching everybody, you think for 1 second that somebody's going to walk right into a school, have a duffel bag full of guns, and just open fire? Come on, man. Fucking police are watching your fucking every move. They got surveillance drones. They got everything. They see your every move. You're not going to get away with it, and everybody knows that. That these things only happen if they want them to, you know. So yeah, the Las Vegas shooting mall, that's the one I got a I said, it's just another Sandy hoax. Oh, because I titled it that. Now I said watch out for the titles, right? So I got a strike on that, being accused of cyberbullying. And then they're trying to limit what you can download and all that, you know. So they'll put strikes on it to where they can tear down your internet service provider. You know, I've got strikes on that as well, you know. So eventually that means that the famine word's right around the corner. In Malaysia, and I'll read the article a little bit later, in Malaysia they have already done this. They have made fake news illegal, aka alternative news media. You cannot have alternative news media at all in Malaysia. Barack Obama's out there in Japan and in all them other places saying that we need to get rid of fake news. So, you know, he's rallying for it. So you know that they're clamping down, right? That eventually what happens over there eventually happens over here, you know. That you won't see us on the streets anymore, because we are the real whistleblowers. We are the ones that are out there prophesying way before the Edomites became truthers, you know, because, you know, certain ones had looked, it's like, wait a minute, what they're saying is actually making sense. Let me look at it. You know, you're right. And so now they're starting to do it. They're starting to make truther videos and all that, you know. So they see that the deep state's about to fall, a.k.a. Amalek, you know, Rothschild. You know, they see that everything's corrupt, you know. But I can guarantee you that a lot of these places, even though they've been taught Christianity, because we were never taught the Bible, they've been taught Christianity all your life. You've probably got a lot of Jakes in there that... well, you know you got Jakes in there already, but I mean, you got a lot of confusion to face Israelites as well. You know, that actually want answers, and so they're starting to question everything, you know. They don't believe the narrative, and they don't believe what they were told because things are not lining up to what they've been taught, you know. Because this word of Yahweh, Hashem, Yahushai, differs with everything been taught, especially, you know, things like... you know, there is no virgin birth, obviously, because the same word that they use for virgin really means young woman. Mary, young woman with child. So yes, and here's another factor there. As you read in Ezekiel chapter 37, verses 16 through 20, you know, when he takes the two tribes, you know, Ephraim, Judah, and the remnant of Israel, and combines them in one stick called the tribe of Joseph. Why is it that? Because Joseph is the father of Yahushai, and Yahushai is going to hold that staff, the stick of Joseph. Think about that one. He is the seed of Joseph. He has a father and a mother just like we do, but also is the son of the Most High, the Son of Man. But he never came from the Virgin Mary. All this is pagan worship, which you know as well as I do, that the Edomites have been lying to us for a very long time, but our people are still caught in it, still celebrating Easter and all these other wicked festivities. But, you know, that's just it. You know, when the calamity came last year, Puerto Rico, which is the center part of Ephraim, you know, the Most High is laughing at these calamities because, of course, they don't want to come to this truth. They don't want to accept that they're an Israelite. They'd rather accept Cesare Borgia. They'd rather call on that name, which is not the name of the Most High. So basically, they worship their demigods. And all this is about to fall. But on the flip side of it, the elect, they're coming out of these mega churches. They're breaking away from that. They're like, this does not line up. Well, that's where I come in and many others come in, you know. This is just not lining up. Something's wrong with what we're being taught. They're only teaching what they want to teach. This does not match up. And I know there's a lot more out here. That's why we're still out here doing this. But the time for us to do this, the grace spirit ain't going to be here much more. You know, as they're clamping down the internet, that's the way of getting this out there. Because what am I doing right now? Is there a bunch of people coming up to me right now asking me questions? No. But on the internet, you know, people are looking at these videos, you know. But when you can no longer do that, then how are we going to teach, you know? Especially if you're in something like this. You know, there's a lot more of us out here, you know, and if it wasn't for the internet, how do you think I would have gotten this truth? Somebody had to be speaking it. There had to be a way of me catching that. Can't go to New York. Didn't even know about the San Francisco. I never heard any of this before. It's a new song. I never heard it before, but, you know, I had to be looking for it. That's another thing. You know, there's a lot of us still stuck within the charters of Christianity. They are looking for answers, but they're not finding them there, and they're leaving, you know, and that's why we're out here. That's why we do this, you know, because we're looking for answers. And so the answer is quite simply put, everything you've been taught has been a lie. You know, you've been in this matrix under Esau, the so-called white man, who has been the devil lying to you, you know, and just the time to be able to do that, to warn our people, is about to shut up. You know, they're shutting up what they call fake news, which we know that they're the ones that are faking the news. They're the ones that are hiring crisis actors to do these stunts to make everybody believe, to do whatever agenda they want to. So I hope this has been edifying, and like everything else, come out of these churches, come out of this Babylon system, because America, Babylon the Great, is about to be destroyed. First financially, the global financial collapse, and the forcing the microchip, and then not long after that, World War III will break out. You see it is because of the fact that Russia has been preparing for war, and that's the main one. Shalom.